Hey, what's up guys, it's Thunderstruck115, and today I have got another response to Annawaifu. If you recall her recent Casual Gamers video, me and a bunch of other people responded to it, and she was not happy about it, so she made a follow-up video. And it's about as bad as the first one was, so without further ado, let's get into it.
Well, kiddos, it seems I ruffled feathers speaking the truth once again with my recent video ranting about casuals are ruining the gaming industry, because apparently casuals are the reason video games even exist.
Correct! They are the reason it exists, because the overwhelming majority forking over their hard-earned cash for video games are casuals.
Yes, that's an actual argument these people use. I am aware YouTubers have made response videos about this subject, and while you're free to make response videos, you are not free from my wrath.
Watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because we are about to suffer the wrath of Annawaifu. But thanks for the easy content.
These videos are so stupid, full of strawmans and misunderstanding points, and overall just trying to add on to what I said to make me look bad in some way. Like, there's this one response video by this idiot named Krillix, which is the most hilarious video I've ever seen. I'm not gonna go over it, but I will give you some sticky notes about what he said, and I might show some clips, maybe?
Yeah, just a quick spoiler, but she does not show a single fucking clip from any of the people responding to her. Which, you know, that's kind of an important part of a response video, is to show what exactly you're responding to. Otherwise, it's just gonna make people think you're talking out of your ass. And in this case, you absolutely are.
I also know this guy named Bakugan. Look, say what you want about my channel, but at least my name is easy to say. Annawaifu, bam, rolls off the tongue.
Dude, are you fucking illiterate? It's Batakanta. I was literally able to figure that out with no fucking effort the first time I read his channel name.
This is like one of the most baffling, responses I've ever seen to a video that I've ever made. Like, I could understand some hate to the Resident Evil 4 video, but this? Like, guys, why are you taking this video so seriously? It's clearly like an emotional opinion piece, but you guys are treating it like it's an analysis or something.
Okay, let me explain something to you. If you post your take publicly to the internet, people have every right to criticize it. Even if it was just an emotional rant piece, that doesn't change the fact that you were clearly being serious about your points on said topic. And when your points are fucking dog shit, no shit, people are gonna criticize it.
Whatever, let's get into it. So I think the first thing I want to mention is how these so-called not casuals or casuals get angry when I say that casuals care about video games being movies. And their argument's just, well, it doesn't matter, they have fun, so why does it matter? Basically, the argument is, shut off your brain and enjoy it. If you have to tell me that I have to shut off my brain, or just enjoy something without thinking deeper or any thought at all, then you just admitted that what you're talking about is going to be trash.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Okay, so I watched Krillix's video, Brother Near's video, and Batakanta's video on you, and not once did I ever hear any of them say to just shut your brain off and enjoy it. See, this is why it's important to show clips so that people know exactly what you're talking about. But you don't show clips, and honestly you probably couldn't even show clips if you wanted to, because not once did any of them ever say that. And by the way, that is a completely separate argument from, well, other people are enjoying it. The whole point is that you don't have to like every single kind of game there is out there. I mean, hell, I personally don't like those cinematic-style movie games like The Last of Us or Uncharted either. But again, I just don't fucking play them. I go play something else entirely. And I just let the people that enjoy those types of games enjoy them.
If you care about story in a video game, then you care about games being like movies. Then just watch a movie or play games to play them. Like, not watch them as movies. I don't understand why the concept is you play a video game and you don't watch them is so hard to grasp for casuals.
Then go play something else then. Also, saying that people caring about story in video games is the same as them wanting them to look like movies is a complete false equivalence. Mainly because there are many games out there that use a form of storytelling that just simply either wouldn't work for movies, or wouldn't work as effectively in movie form. For example, I love the Dishonored series, and a large part of that story's appeal is the immersion. You're interacting with a living, breathing world. There's plenty of optional storytelling everywhere, NPCs feel alive, and it puts you in the perspective of Corvo Attano. This level of immersion is just not something feasible with a movie. Or it could be a game like Spec Ops: The Line, which, not to spoil anything, but there are certain actions that are impactful, and they become even more so because you are doing them yourself. But if you were to just say, watch the character do them in a movie, it wouldn't be quite as impactful. Additionally, it's possible to care about the story while also caring more about the actual gameplay. I mean, I place some importance on the story, but it pales in comparison to the gameplay.
What's hilarious is that these people don't even argue against their point. Their whole argument is to shut up and let us enjoy things. Stop criticizing us for enjoying shitty games. Just shut up and enjoy The Last of Us Part 2.
No, they're not telling you to enjoy The Last of Us Part 2. They're just saying that they should be allowed to enjoy it. Which, yeah, they should. If they enjoy a game that's considered bad, more power to them.
Another thing they call me out for is loving Synthetic Man. Like, me enjoying Synthetic Man discredits me or some shit. Like, whatever. Yeah, he called you guys out multiple times and it's getting you angry. Casuals ruin gaming because they buy the same shit over and over and they don't care about when politics are shoved in their faces. And they don't care about the quality of video games. If you're a casual gamer and you don't fit into these categories, good for you. You're an exception, but that's not the majority.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time. If a casual gamer doesn't like a game, or they think it sucks, why would they continue playing it? And the answer is they simply wouldn't. No, the ones that buy video games, even if they think they suck, are people like Synthetic Man who do so solely to shit on the game. But I know for a fact that you are never gonna call them out for that.
Hardcore gamers aren't buying movie games, casuals are. And if they are buying these games and they're not a hardcore gamer, the Act Man sold his soul for 10 cents and praises whatever the mainstream is praising.
You know, it's funny you should say that because the two most recent videos by the Act Man at the time of me recording this are videos shitting on Redfall and shitting on Overwatch 2. But nope, he's just praising mainstream games.
Jim Sterling does the same thing, except he interjects left-wing politics into his videos.
No, he fucking doesn't. He hates the modern gaming industry, and his rants about it are the reason why his channel has been bleeding subscribers for the past 3 years.
Yes, casuals are mostly left-leaning or centrist.
Now this bitch is really gonna try and claim that just because you're a casual gamer that you're a fucking leftist or centrist. Oh shit, guys, well I guess I better go tell the Republicans that if they're casual gamers, then they're actually closeted Democrats.
When you look at a Game Awards show and you see a fat green-haired bitch up in the microphone, you don't think they're casuals or left-leaning?
Okay, no, if they're giving away awards at a gaming awards show, then they're not casual gamers. Those people are known as gaming critics. And the thing about gaming critics is that they have been an absolute joke for over 15 years at this point, and at no point should you ever take them seriously.
I also didn't say all casuals are left-leaning. Casuals just don't care about the product. It's not that hard to understand. Yes, casuals are mostly left-leaning or centrist.
How fucking low does your self-awareness have to be to completely contradict a statement you made not even 5 seconds ago? Annawaifu, I'm gonna need you to
keep that same energy.
Bottom line is that you didn't like what I had to say and you dislike Bomb because of that.
No, you got dislike Bomb because your video was complete shit.
Because instead of wanting to make gaming better, you casuals choose to blame everyone else for gaming going downhill instead of taking responsibility and admitting you're wrong.
Motherfucker, how is it the casuals' fault when it's literally the greedy companies pushing out unfinished games, or shitty games, or broken games? The casuals weren't the ones that said, yep, Redfall's fucking broken, go ahead and release it. No, that was the higher-ups at the company. The problem is with corporate greed, not the casuals.
Casual gamer, definition, people who don't play video games as much as other people. It's not that hard to understand.
Define other people, because I can literally point to somebody that plays video games for 120 hours a week and claim that they are a casual gamer because there are other people that play video games for 130 hours a week. This is the same fucking shit Krillix pulled when he tried saying that normal people don't know what arena shooters are, but then never fucking defined it.
If you're one of those people who were in my comments that were like, oh, I played this and I played that and I'm a casual gamer, no you're not. If there's people who play thousands of games and you care about what the medium is, then you're not a casual. You're just brainwashed to think gaming is better than it's always been, and it's not. That's
not what you said earlier. You earlier said that casual gamers are people that don't play video games as much as other people. So which is it, Annawaifu? I'm once again gonna have to ask you to
keep that same energy.
Like, if you say The Last of Us is one of the greatest games ever made, then you're casual. I'm sorry, I'm just saying that out right now. No one who is a hardcore gamer thinks that The Last of Us, or Forspoken, or God of War Ragnarok, or Uncharted 4 think they're great games because of the gameplay. No, what they offer is just a story. Then fucking watch a movie. Why do you care about a story so much?
Because maybe people enjoy an interesting story? Now, I'm usually not one of those people. In most cases, I'm just there for the gameplay. But newsflash, people can like games for different reasons than you, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You casuals want super realistic graphics. Why? And there's people saying, well, I don't care about graphics. Like, I'm talking about casuals who do, and that's a lot of them.
So you're telling me that casuals who care about graphics care about graphics. In other news, every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. I won't deny that there are some casuals that do care about graphics more than anything else, but most of them, they really don't give a shit, or at least the extent to which they care about graphics is pretty insignificant when it comes to things like gameplay. And for them, good graphics is just the cherry on top of an already good game. It certainly doesn't make the experience, but it's nice to have.
Because they won't go back and they play old games. If you recommend an old game to them, they won't do it. Proof? I've been around gaming for 15 years now, and I'll explain this later in the video.
And I've been around gaming for 18 years, and in most cases, people are open to try older games. There is a reason why the original Doom from 1993, a game that released 30 years ago, is still popular to this day. And yet you're going to try and claim that casuals aren't open to trying older games, when the only real times that casuals aren't really open to doing that is if the older game in question isn't very accessible. For example, an older game I'd recommend is Metroid Prime 2, but it's kinda hard to play it because in order to do so, you have to spend hundreds of dollars on either a GameCube or a Wii with backwards compatibility, controllers for said console, cables to hook it up to a modern TV, and a used copy of the game on eBay, or they have to sail the high seas and set up an emulator to play it. But the original Doom? That's about as accessible as it gets considering it's ported to anything with a screen and a processor, and as such, the game is still wildly popular and widely played to this day. And hell, going back to Metroid, you wanna know what happened when Metroid Dread was announced back in 2021? Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission became the top 2 selling games on the Wii U eShop. Not just the best-selling games on the Virtual Console, but the best-selling games overall. Meanwhile, there was plenty of online discussion from people who didn't own a Wii U and wanted Nintendo to give them away so they could play those games on the Switch.
And for people who say that, oh, they just want movie games because that's how you get immersed in the world. No. Let me give you an example of a game called Borderlands. Yes, I'm gonna bring up Borderlands a lot in videos because that game is so freaking amazing. Borderlands 2 specifically. I get immersed in the world and I don't need cutscene bombarded in my face every fucking second of the game. That's such a stupid argument to make that's actually pretty incredible. You don't need movie, cutscenes or whatever to get immersed in a world. The reason why Borderlands 2 has such an immersive world is because of the characters, because of the world itself, about how it looks, how it plays. There's so much about it that is so good that it gets you immersed.
Yup, Borderlands 2 is a really good game, and guess what? The casuals recognize it, which is why it sold exceptionally well. So, how does this support the narrative that casuals just want games to be like movies?
I never felt anything playing The Last of Us Part 2, or Uncharted, or, Forspoken. I was never immersed in those worlds because they're so shit. And it was because of the cutscenes that it got me, not immersed. Again, just watch a movie. Yes, there are games out there like The Last Guardian and Borderlands that have great graphics, but that's not why I play them. Because that's another thing, was that I was saying that casuals care about graphics, which they do. And then people are like, well, maybe they just care about graphics because they want the game to look. It's like, why do you care about the game looking good? Why does that matter?
Because in general, people like attractive things over unattractive things, and that includes video games. But like I explained earlier, while they might care about graphics, they don't care about it as much as something like gameplay or story.
It should be the gameplay that gets you immersed in the game, not the graphics. Why do you care? Like, I don't get it. If you want a game to look good, fine. But that shouldn't be the only reason why you play the game is because the graphics look amazing or highly realistic. Like, who cares? Watch a movie or an anime if you care about story and graphics. My god, why do you care? And for the people who tell me to shut up and just let these people enjoy stuff, you guys would be more entertained staring at a fucking wall. These people don't have arguments. These people like Brother Nier or Krillix who call me a bitch and a retard, or a right-wing crazy psychopath that thinks there's politics and everything, and think that their arguments, are valid. The problem with these videos is that they never give criticism. They either just say strawmans or exaggerate what I say to make me sound worse than I am.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Annawaifu, but a few months ago, Krillix and Brother Nier were criticizing each other's videos regarding the Act-Man arena shooter drama. Also, people like me, Krillix, and Brother Nier, we're known as Leafy clones. And the thing about Leafy clones is that they're quite notorious for shitting on each other.
Yes, casuals do care about graphics critics because they won't go back and play old games. It's obvious that modern gaming has gone to shit, that you won't admit it because again it would require you to actually take responsibility and realize yours the problem. And I'm not the schizo for thinking there's politics in video games. There's always politics in video games.
Hold on, Annawaifu, if there's always politics in video games, wouldn't that include your precious older games as well? But no, trying to claim that all games have politics in them is fucking stupid. Call of Duty Zombies, you know, it's just a horde survival mode. You know, the story's like a sci-fi about Element 115 and fucking apothecans and a bunch of other shit. I guess that's political now. Doom Eternal, you know, a game that's about going through hell, killing demons as brutally as possible with a badass metal soundtrack. Nope, that's political now. Super Mario Bros., a game about running, jumping, and saving a princess from a fucking turtle. That's political. Metroid? Political. Tetris? Political. Pong? Probably.
I also don't think I want to take advice from someone like Brother Nier, who constantly was proven to drag people into drama when they didn't need to be, and is overall a fucking slimy person, and also uses the funny Ahiko face as an avatar in his podcast, and is an idiot when it comes to arena shooters.
You know, I really should start keeping account of the amount of people that try bringing up the dark side of Griffin Gaming to discredit Brother Nier when they're out of fucking arguments. Brother Nier is on record stating that the dark side of Griffin Gaming is dumb and that he no longer stands by it. You're literally just beating a dead horse to try and discredit him. Also, how dare he do the Ahegao face on his avatar during his live streams as a joke. You know, what a fucking scumbag.
These people are in a hive mind that repeat the same stuff over and over because they're mad that someone with 500 subs have different opinion from them.
You know, it's funny you say that we're all in a hive mind when the way me and Brother Nier met Krillix is because of our disagreement over the Act-Man arena shooter drama, and we literally invited him onto a fucking live stream so we could debate. But nope, we're totally just a hive mind.
Casuals didn't like what I had to say and just disliked Bomb without even wanting a conversation. So, well, let's move on to the people who responded to me. Vincent Martin, Krillix, and Brother Nier. These people are so stupid, it's actually incredible.
You know, if you just said Vincent Martin, I would 100% agree with you on this.
Their videos just repeat the same shit over and over. Oh, you're getting too emotional, you're a retard, you actually know what gaming is like, Casual started the industry. Okay, come on, the last one is dumb. No, people. People who ran the gaming industry cared about video games, not casuals. Casuals weren't even a thing back then.
And just like that, any small bit of credibility you once had is now fucking gone. Casuals have been around the gaming industry since its fucking inception. Otherwise, it never would have expanded beyond just being the playthings of programmers.
And yeah, I'm gonna get emotional, my favorite medium went down to the shitter. The worst part I heard was when Vincent said, you shouldn't hate the player, hate game. Well, who do you think buys these games to get them made? Vincent Martin, I'm gonna focus on you because ironically I hate your video the most.
Hey, that's fucking based. For real though, fuck Vincent Martin.
You focus on a YouTuber who shadowed me for 5 seconds, and then your entire video was just you misunderstanding my points. First of all, you don't care about video games. I can tell you don't care about video games. Tell me to calm down when people keep buying the same shit over and over when they know it's going to be bad? Like, fuck you. I am gonna get emotional.
You're really gonna get emotional over other people spending their money the way they want? Have you considered that maybe they're buying the game because they actually do enjoy it? Again, if you don't think a game is worth your time or money, you don't have to fucking buy it. But other people clearly do think it's a good game, at least enough to buy and play it, so what's the harm in that? If you're really getting that pissed off at other people buying a video game that you don't like, please go touch some fucking grass.
The reason I use Manga Common's video for that example of nostalgia eaters is that it proves that dumbasses like Manga Common will make a 20-minute video calling a game bad, and in the same video, he's gonna buy it anyway.
But it's perfectly fine when Synthetic Man does the exact same thing, but what can you do about that one? Selective outrage at its finest.
You don't think that's a problem? See, this is something that Vince and the others won't understand, is I care about video games. To everyone who watched the original video, I care about video games. To y'all, video games is a pastime.
Well, no fucking shit.
Yeah, they are a pastime. They literally exist as something fun to do in your spare time. Just like literally every other fucking hobby on planet Earth.
To you, it's just a hobby. You know, you don't care about it. You guys won't understand how great we had it in the early 2000s. You don't actually care about video games, because if you did, you would know how great it was back then.
I mean, I'd consider myself a casual gamer, and I'll agree that gaming was better back in the early 2000s. Like, you're trying to paint it out like casuals don't fucking care about video games, when, like, I find that hard to believe, considering they actively fucking play them.
Yes, in the early 2000s, we did get bullied for playing video games. Think about all the movies or television shows where they made gamers look like these nerds who live in their parents' basements and don't care about themselves. Where do you think the nerd stereotype came from?
No, that was more of a thing in the 1980s. By the 2000s, though, no, you weren't fucking bullied for just playing video games. Or at least it wasn't a widespread thing. If you did get bullied for being a nerd in the early 2000s, judging from your attitude in this video, it was probably something else that got their attention rather than just the fact that you play video games.
I'm just gonna say it right here and now. To all you who respond to my video, you're a fucking idiot. You guys can keep your heads buried in the dirt thinking that I'm wrong, even though you can see the downfall of gaming right in front of your eyes, and you refuse to accept the truth.
Nobody is denying that the quality of the gaming industry has fallen. Or if there is, they are few and far between. The problem, however, is not with the casual gamers, it's with the greedy publishers who are willing to push out games that are broken, unfinished, or just flat out suck.
Yes, The Last of Us Part 2 and Forspoken failed because they focused on the political messages more than the game itself. But no, there's no politics in gaming, even though Synthetic Man literally gave proof that they put political stuff in video games for profits.
I'm just gonna put my response that I had in the last video because I really don't feel like repeating myself. No, the reason Forspoken failed was because the gameplay sucked ass and the optimization job was terrible. I want to remind everybody that Luminous Productions literally recommend that you have a 4080 just to run the game at 60 FPS. Even though the game looks like a damn PS3 title and really has no reason to be running that poorly. As for the Laugh at Us Part 2, the reason that failed was because it was another Sony story walking simulator, but the story was ass. Now, did it have woke shit in the game? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but ultimately it wouldn't have mattered since the game's execution of its main theme of breaking the cycle of revenge was handled incredibly poorly.
I also never said all casuals. If you're a casual gamer but you don't care about graphics and you like playing good games, good for you. You're not a classic casual. Congratulations, but you're not the majority.
No, those people are the majority of casual gamers.
My proof this is that I've been around gaming culture for almost 15 years now. I've been playing video games since I was 6 years old, and since then, I've been into gaming for 15 years. I think I know a thing or two about how gaming works.
Yeah, and as somebody who's been playing games for the last 18 years since I was 3 years old, you're fucking wrong. Casual gamers are not ruining the industry, and if anything, they're the ones keeping the industry alive.
I also hate how Krillix and Brother Nier have this smugness in their voice. Like, they just sound so smug, like they know everything. Well, calling me retarded and a bitch is not an argument. You can actually tell I won the argument when they stooped to name-calling. I doubt they even watched the entire video till they responded to it. To all you who respond to my video, you're a fucking idiot.
No, I'll admit, I do think Brother Nier 2.0 and Krillix went just a little bit overboard with the personal insults. I think it's fine to have some in a video like that, but I think they just went a little bit overboard. But you see, the problem here, Annawaifu, is that you have been doing the exact same thing throughout this video. So if you're gonna call out Krillix and Brother Nier for using personal attacks and saying that they lost the argument the second they started using them, then you should probably
Keep that same energy.
I'm not gonna go over comments because it's pointless and there's too many retards to respond to, so I guess this is where I do my conclusion statement. Look, I understand that people had issues with a video, and I'm not saying for instance that it's perfect, but it was clearly an emotional piece. Yes, these are my opinions and my experiences. Like, the problem is you guys are taking the video too seriously.
Really? Because it seemed to me like they weren't really taking it all that seriously at all. I don't know if you know this, but I don't take any of the videos I respond to seriously. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this shit for fun. The only exceptions were Shaun the Legend and Zero Needs Coffee. But that's because of the pedophilic shit that they did. But every other instance, we're just talking about fucking video games. It's really not that fucking serious. But just because the subject matter isn't that serious or that it was just an opinion piece, doesn't mean that it's immune to criticism.
Like, this wasn't an analysis about the gaming industry. Whatever. They're gonna hate this video and take it out of context anyway. I'm done.
Hey, dumbass. How exactly are they taking it out of context when they literally show your video and theirs and show exactly what you were fucking saying? That is the complete opposite of taking things out of context. Alright, at this point she just does her outro and then ends it off, so I'm gonna end off the video here. So, moral of the story is, even if it's just an opinion piece, if you post your take publicly to the internet, people have every right to respond to it. Also, don't simp for Synthetic Man, because that shit will rot your brain faster than LSD. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more, and tell me what you think of Annawaifu being butthurt over people criticizing her. Anyways, that's it. Peace!